Hi everyone, Trin here. Happy Tuesday. I hope your week has been going well so far. So the topic for today is pretty much what tools I use to make my products. So I'll just go through my products and how I make them. And hopefully, because I'm a little tight on time, I'll just be going through the list and I won't be showing you the tools as much because I don't want to do that post editing, y'all. But I'll link to the tools that I use in my description. Okay, so first off, I think my best seller are stickers. So, and speaking of stickers, here's my latest design. I'll have him available at ToroCon in March. Look at how cute he is. I love the way the colors turned out. Yeah. Okay. So, stickers. Back in 2015, when I first vended, not officially as Trinhtoro, but in my heyday. Let me just start from that. So, if you're really starting out and on a budget, what I did was I used staples. I printed on their label sticker sheets, and then I cut my stickers out by hand, but skip to now. What I do is I buy the sticker paper from Amazon, and then the holographic layer is from Amazon too. It's I forgot what it's called. It's not a heat press because sometimes you can use a machine to join the sticker paper and the holographic layer. I'm not sure which is a more beneficial method. I just haven't tried that yet. So honestly, currently right now, I just peel the holographic sticker and use this like very cheap squeegee that I got from Amazon to apply the holographic before I then send it through my um, Silhouette Cameo 4, which I also purchased from Amazon. I think it's usually at a discounted fee on Amazon. So yeah, that's how I make my stickers. And in terms of like what kind of stickers I use, I've tried out a whole bunch and I feel like I'm still looking for the best one. So we'll make another video out of that because it's a whole ordeal. That's just a lot to cover from that. So all right, so that's how I make my stickers. And then sticker wise, if the stickers sell well, I'll try to use a sticker vendor to make them because I don't want to be making 100 of these. But the issue that I have is, and I can't really talk much on it, is because I haven't found a sticker company for like creating these holographics that I really like. So I'm just not gonna share that with you until I find something that I actually use and like. Um, so there that is that. So the one benefit of creating the stickers myself is that I can control the quantity and I suppose the quality too. So yeah, stickers. Okay, so the next thing I do is prints, right? So I have 11 by 17 and then I use 5 by 7 and I'm thinking if I should have done like a postcard. I think postcard is 4 by 6. So for prints, I use Photoshop to draw on because that was what I was trained on in college. And then I've just stuck with that because I also use a lot of the other Adobe products such as their Lightroom, Adobe Express, and Adobe Premiere. So so I draw in Photoshop, but would I recommend it for an artist who primarily only focuses on drawing? I'm not sure because it's a um it's very heavy, you know, for what you need as an artist. I really only maybe only I don't know use 10% of the features in Photoshop for my artwork. Now if you're like a graphic designer, then sure, go for it. But in terms of artwork, right, the brushes that I use are free brushes that you can download on the Adobe store. Yeah, so I use an ink brush and then I use a watercolor brush for coloring and a lot of layering and undo. I'll use a lot of what is this? clipping mask to for my coloring process. So pretty much that, and then sometimes I'll tweak the colors with adjustment layers or go into Lightroom and do some tweaking. So Photoshop. Alternatively, uh, I'm thinking of maybe I should go use Procreate because Photoshop is just so just so heavy of a program that you constantly have to update it, and if you don't have like a strong computer, it might bog it down. So in terms of drawing, I use a Lenovo laptop, the Lenovo Yoga, so that I can draw directly on the monitor. And then I also have a old Intuos webcam tablet from my college heydays that I use. And then for printing, I use the Canon Pixma 100. And then for paper, I use a 60-pound matte paper from Red River. That is the brand that I use. I like their quality so far, and yeah, I just use their matte quality. I just find that paper quality really matters, and I guess the printer too, because I've gone through some printers such as Cat Print, and I think their quality is good, but compared to what I print, so I'm the type of artist that really stare that really looks at the grain of paper, and you can really tell the difference between like the grain of paper. It's just for me, like it just looks a bit pixelated if you look really closely. The paper that I get from River is really smooth, and I mean, I guess I don't know if I'm overkilling it, but I mean, for fine art printing is I mean, what I'm doing is not fine art, but the quality turns out the result is really good because yeah, the Canon Pixma over here has six I think it's at six, let me count. It's eight. It has 8 colors for the ink cartridges, so it is pricier too. So take that with a I don't know grain of salt for your consideration. You can probably get other printers. Well, the I use the 100 right now, but you can definitely get the 1000. I found that a bit challenging because I've been looking to purchase that too, but I couldn't find it unless I'm going on Facebook Marketplace. But that one has a larger ink cartridge, and a lot of people are using alternative like think tank printers that just have bigger cartridges. So it just saves you a lot of time on having to refill the cartridge. And for a whole set of the Canon Pixma 100 of 8, it was 140 bucks before tax at Staples. So I don't know, perhaps you can find it cheaper on Amazon, which I'll probably look up next. And maintenance wise, this thing is a bit of a pain. As you saw in my other videos, I'm constantly having issues with it, having to print every day or like every other day or at least twice within a week. I went through this the whole issue of trying to diagnose the error. Speaking of print, let me show you my latest print. Da, da, da. So this is a magical frog who's a librarian. Um, yeah, you guys. So I've just been so one of my goals, I don't know if I shared it with you guys, but is to read at least one book a month. So that's why I drew this. All right. I have been obsessed with A Court of Thorns and Roses. This whole series. Is that the book or is I think that's the book. I don't exactly know what the whole series is called. Anyways, so my thing, right? I don't really have a lot of time to read. I did read book one, but for book two, and then I'm on book three now. I'm listening to the audio version for it, and I find that a mixture of that is really helpful for me just to save time. I can draw while I listen to the story, and then I'm currently reading a bit of a tangent. Let me share with you what I'm reading. I am also reading what's the other book? To Gaze Upon Wicked Gods, and then I have Fourth Wing on the way, and then hopefully, right, my goal is to someday write my own novel. So that is on the way, you guys. We'll talk about that later. So there's that. Okay, so print wise, I think that's everything for printing. Um, yeah, okay. Let's see. In terms of editing my video, right? I currently have their Shure mic, and then I'm using the DJI Osmo 3 camera to record, and then I also record with my Samsung Ultra S. I think it's a 24 phone in 4K, and then I'll edit it on Adobe Premiere. So yeah, that's why I use the Adobe products because I just use so many of it. And let's see. So there's that. And then pretty much for Twitch streaming, right? I'll use the same mic. So the one thing about this mic that I don't really care for is that so it's the model MV7 Plus. Is that it has to be on screen, or like I have to be really okay. I'm supposed to be like really talking into the mic, like directionally. It should be more like this, but I don't really care for that. So after this, I kind of edit the audio in Premiere. Um, I don't know. I might get a new mic, just so that this is not on screen. I don't really care for this aesthetic. It doesn't look as good. I don't know. So there's that. And then let's see, for other software that I use, so digital software wise, I mentioned Adobe Express. So Adobe Express, when I use my phone to like capture images or quickly post to Instagram, that's you can do some editing with that too. So there's that. And then I use Adobe Rush, which is where it's a video editing software that I use on my phone. That's been really helpful with speeding up the workflow because I don't have to transfer my file from my phone to the computer and then edit in Premiere. Sometimes I do that if I wanted to add a bit more animation to my reels, but usually I'll just use Rush, and that's good. And then Instagram itself, the editing feature is pretty good too. So there's that. And then on the side note, you've seen me use Airtable when I was talking about my layout of the different like table layout over the year. That was me using Miro. And then for like my YouTube videos, I'll use something like Airtable, which is kind of similar to like it could be used for project management. So I'll like take notes, like I'll create a list of notes for the video as like talking points, and then I'll just use that to kind of organize my tasks. So it's my project management tool pretty much. And then yeah, I think I mentioned at some point I do use ChatGPT for idea generation in the forms of like, hey ChatGPT, what kind of YouTube video should I use? Give me some ideas or stuff like that. And then I'll use it for items such as I want to focus more on digital sales this year. What recommendations do you have? So I use it as more of my my assistant. So I do have a custom GPT set up as a creative assistant. So yeah, I kind of have a conversation with it. So there is that. Let's see. And then pretty much for, let's see. What else is there, you guys? I think those are the top tools that I use to run my business because, yeah, I think those are the top points. And then, of course, right, if I have some key charms, acrylic key charms, so I use Vograce for that. That's the only company that I've used, and it seems to be really popular among other artists, and I find it affordable. But I don't have any comparison to like any other companies. Um, I have not stepped into the realm of Alibaba. I'm a little, I'm a little too afraid or hesitant because yeah. And I don't know. I think for this year, I'm going to focus more on print because that's what I enjoy doing. Yeah. And then sticker sheets, I also make that myself. So same process as the first list that I mentioned earlier. What other tools do I use, you guys? Well, let me know in the comments if you have any questions about the tools, the process, and then I'll share that with you in the following video, like a Q&A. I was thinking even like maybe on Friday have a little like 1 hour or 30-minute live sessions where we can just chat. Really, if you have any questions, I don't think there's really well, actually, there is something consistently that I can talk about with you guys is I don't really talk about it a lot because I find that the demographic on here is probably excuse me. If you're watching this, you're most likely another artist. I don't know. So if I let me know if you guys are interested in just talking about anime, because that's what I draw. I draw original art and sometimes anime, but I definitely do watch anime. And there's constantly new episodes and seasons, and that would be something that I'd be down to talking with you guys about on like maybe a Friday live streaming or even on Twitch. Yeah, you guys. So, I pretty much do most of my artwork digitally. Um, like the other day, this is a piece that I did of a traditional art piece. So this one I used the Micron for the line art, and then coloring wise I used Prismacolor pencils. Those are really nice. I bought that in my college heydays, and I've only used it like this year. So um I don't know if I'll pursue digital art. I mean, wow. Wow. I meant traditional. I meant traditional. But yeah, I hope that was helpful for you guys. And I'll see you next Tuesday. I'm not sure what I'm really going to talk about yet because I currently don't have any events coming up. So I guess let me know in the comments if you are curious about anything else, and I'll try to answer you. All right, have a good week, you guys.